Hello. So today is a big day for Istituto Marangoni, Paris. Indeed, we have two big names with us this morning that we are very proud and honored to welcome. Ladies first, Eugénie Trochu. Head of Editorial Content, Vogue France. Eugénie, you were already with us last year for a special jury with Lena. And today you will be interviewing the most talented designer of our generation, who was already with us 2 years ago for a special talk, and who has accepted to be the mentor of Istituto Marangoni Paris, Mr. Olivier Rousteing. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, and let's start.
Wow. Ça marche?
And I have a lot of questions.
And you're gonna have a lot of answers. Just to start, she's one of my best friends, so it's gonna be really easy.
But it's so stressful. There's a lot of people. I was not expecting that at all. Thank you, Olivier, for this gift.
You're more than welcome, Eugénie.
So tell me, why did you accept to be a mentor here?
Already because I love Marangoni. To be really, really clear with all of you, I think it's such an honor to be the mentor of this incredible institute. And because maybe when I was younger and I was at school, I wish I could have... Ça marche, vous m'entendez? Can you hear me? Okay. I wish I could have a mentor. So I'm going to try to do my best here and trying to be inspiring as much as you are inspiring me. So let's start.
And for you, what is the role of a mentor?
I think every mentor is different. I hope I can bring you some inspiration. I think when you are at school, sometimes you don't know exactly what is the world of work, and I really want to try to bring you the reality of what is to be in the fashion industry, the real challenges, because of course Marangoni is a great institute where you're going to learn so much, but I think I can really try to show you what is the real life outside of the school. And I hope that I can mix my work and my savoir-faire with all your love and passion for fashion. And let's see how it's gonna start.
And to start, what would be the first advice you give to them?
My first advice is to be yourself. And I know it sounds sometimes really cheesy to say that, but you know, we are living in a world where sometimes there's a lot of codes and a lot of cliché and trying to repeat what exists already. And what's going to be my work here is to help you to discover yourself, your own talent, what is your real world, your real, I would say, who you are more than who you want to be. Because this is the most important. During my career, I try to sometimes try to be someone else, because when you start to be a creative director, you know, you have to follow some codes of fashion, and you have to be part of this box that sometimes people create, and Eugénie can say, because of course Eugénie is one of the outsiders that make a fashion even more relevant than ever with her new appointment. Now it's not new anymore, it's been
6 months.
6 months. So she knows as much as I know that sometimes to push boundaries, you just need to be yourself and not trying to be someone else. And so this is what I'm going to try to do with you guys. Discover the best talents, trying to make you feel like what is your real DNA, what is your real world, and what is your own aesthetic, your own identity, and pushing and fighting for being free to be who you want to be.
Yeah, I think it's the new rule, being yourself and not to be afraid of what you are, and just like it's something you have to fight for. And see, if someone said to you that you have to fake something, you can't do that anymore. It used to be that in the past, but for now you have to forget that.
I agree. It's so sometimes easy when you work in the fashion industry that you're gonna get many advices or how you can succeed, you know. But at the end of the day, the real success is just being yourself. And I know that here you create your own world, you work really hard. And my work here is going to be to push you to be even more yourself than ever and what you ever can think you can be. Good luck.
I think maybe all the students here wants to work with you.
Maybe not.
Who wants to work for Olivier?
I can see not everybody, which means it's okay, you know.
What would make you want to recruit them? What is the first thing that you see maybe when you are receiving someone for an interview?
I think there are three things. I would say, again, being yourself. So when I'm going to have an interview with whoever you are here, trying to really find someone that's going to be really special and unique. And I'm sure that everybody is unique. The problem is not being unique. The problem is like how you express it to convince. The second thing is hardworking, because of course fashion is a really tough world where you need to work a lot. And I would say something that maybe you don't hear enough, but the team spirit. Because you cannot be who you are without having a great team beyond you and not having great friends, that support that surrounds you. So me, I would not be here without a great team. So I would say that those 3 points are really important. Hard work, being who you are, unique, and a team spirit.
Okay. Okay.
So now you know how to get
a
job with me.
Their job. And now you are such an established person and brand. But what do you think they can bring to you?
You're the future. And in a weird way, you know, sometimes I feel really an old soul, in the sense that it's been now more than 10 years that I'm in this career. I'm not so old, but I'm not so young anymore.
So young.
No, I'm not. And I tell you, I feel every day that I'm not. But at the same time, you know, what keep my strength and as much as I can do, it's you guys. So I think why I'm here, because you're all inspiring me, and I'm sure I'm going to learn so much from you, and we'll make sure that I want to keep doing my job the way that I do, because you cannot be a creative director without listening to the new generation, listening what you want from this world. And so that's why I really keep saying I thank you for being here, because you're going to be my inspiration.
Talking about the new generation and the young generation, they are all, I think everyone is on the metaverse. Are you on the metaverse? Who is on the metaverse? Not so much. Not so much. So you will teach them.
Yes.
So do you believe in it?
Yeah, I really believe in whatever tools we're going to have in the future. I think NFT and metaverse is a real clear vision of how to bring a next step to the world. But again, I believe in, if I might say, I believe in hard work of clothes, pattern makers, modelism. I don't think you can create a clothes without knowing how you do it in a reality. So I think there will be two topics here. Like, I believe in how to push a virtual world, but I believe as well in the real world. So you cannot create a virtual world without knowing how to create clothes and how to push those clothes in the reality. So there's going to be two worlds there.
But how you can connect these two worlds in fashion?
In fashion, I think there is a lot of again, a lot of work on how to create a clothes, because the savoir-faire in reality is really important. You cannot create an incredible NFT without really understanding the movement of a clothes in reality. Just to make even bigger and stronger and crazier, you need to understand how it moves in reality. You need to understand the cuts in the reality. And as well, after, you need to understand a marketing side of it, because metaverse and NFT, it's really important when you have a great marketing behind and working with your marketing as much as you can. So it's a lot of work, but an interesting work.
And not only about metaverse, but do you think fashion can still pass some message? I think about the actuality for now, for example.
Oh, yeah. I don't do fashion only to create my clothes, and that's why I'm here as well today. I think when you ask me the question about what means to be a mentor here, is to tell you that fashion today is not only creating clothes. This is the new generation as well. You all have a strong message, I'm sure. And you can see what we are going through now in France. I think it's really important to use your fashion or your art to express more than your clothes, the universe that you want to build, the world that you want to be in, fighting to push boundaries, to break boundaries. So I will definitely say that there is much bigger than just creating clothes when you work in fashion. There is a strong message behind it, which I try to do for the last 10 years. I'm going to give you an example really quickly. I don't want to take too long, but you know, when I started my fashion, and now I know that it sounds really banal to say, but when I pushed diversity 10 years ago, there were so many editors, so many stylists, so many agencies for models that were like, they don't have different kind of models in their agencies. And it sounds today really banal to talk about it, but it was not 10 years ago. I mean, fashion has the tendency to forget really quickly what was fashion before. Look at just the front rows of the fashion industry 10 years ago, and look at the front rows today. Look at the models 10 years ago. Look at the models today. Look at the campaigns 10 years ago. Look at the campaigns today. Look at magazines 10 years ago. Look at magazines today. And I know that today, again, that's why I feel an old soul to tell you 10 years ago, but it's so real because you will need to fight. Because the dream of fashion is a dream that everybody can have access to, but we need to push and keep fighting to make sure that the world of yesterday is not the world of tomorrow. And I don't want that the next generation is going through what I went through in the fashion industry. Because in the fashion industry 10 years ago, when I started, there was a lot of racism. And I know that a lot of people don't want to mention it, but I'm going to mention it. You don't even know what I went through 10 years ago. And, you know, I stayed in silence for long because there was no tools for me to talk about it. Because when you start to talk about it, it feels fashion start to have a weakness, you know, and fashion don't like to have weakness. So I think today my strength is to make sure that there will be less weaknesses in fashion, and fighting with you to make the fashion world better, and making sure that you won't have to go through what I went through 10 years ago. And I know it sounds banal, but this is the reality of the world of yesterday.
And regarding the fashion today, what do you think we need to do again? Because there are a lot of fights when we have to do. And what is your maybe 2 or 3 fights that you want to be part of it?
I will obviously keep fighting for diversity. As you know, barman, I mean, I think from day one I really tried to fight for it and trying to do my best, and I can still improve a lot. And I think I would like to try to show more, because now we talk a lot about models and inclusivity in the fashion shows and runway, and this is something that I will keep pushing. But as well, in this room, I see a lot of different origins, and I think this is important for me to show as well new designers, upcoming designers that coming from all around the world and showing different cultures. This is going to be my role now, because I think the beauty of fashion is to mix cultures, and I think this is going to be my next goal. And there's nothing better than being here with Marangoni, where it's embracing all the different cultures. And I can see that you're all coming from around the world, and this is what I love. So I will make sure that we can see all the beautiful culture that I have around me now.
Yes, and I think we need to fight. And I think there is another thing we need to fight for, Olivier. It's for women, because I think in this industry, and I see a lot of women here, there's not a lot of women designers, and I think we need to push, because when you are in a fashion week, you see, I don't know, 3 or 4 French women, or not French, but women designing a collection. It's not enough.
It's not enough, and that's why we are here for. To change again, starting to go back to my conversation, breaking boundaries to make sure that what was 10 years ago, 20 years ago is not happening again. So let's all fight together.
And do you think we can fight on social media? Because you have been the first designer to show yourself, your true yourself on social, you know?
Yeah, I think social media is a great platform to express who you are. I mean, there is no question. At least on social media, you can be who you want to be, who you are, and people will like you, they will follow you. People that won't like you, they will unfollow you. But that's the beauty of it. And again, when I started my social media, it was starting to be maybe a problem because you express yourself through your own platform and not waiting for a magazine or for a different social media to express yourself. And I think this is the beauty of social media, just because you can be you and there is no one that's going to tell you who you have to be. So social media, really important.
And if we're talking about social media, maybe we want to go further. What is the big next revolution for you?
This is always a question that I don't know what to answer. No, I'm kidding.
Web3, how we call it?
I think it's gonna be. If I say something that maybe has nothing to do with metaverse, so I think it's gonna be changing the fashion weeks, because everything happened to Milano, to Paris, to New York, to London, and I think the future is gonna be like, thanks to social media, to bring fashion weeks around the world. Like someone will put some fashion shows in the desert or in different cities, different countries, and will be just like something incredible happening. And from designers that are not known, I think this is gonna be a real thing to bring unknown designers, but unknown talent to become tomorrow the future. But I think this will happen thanks to social media. And I think metaverse, I agree, will be a big moment, because you will create your own world and people will be excited by your universe. And that will be really new, because social media, what's happening right now is that there are a lot of upcoming designers that are really strong on social media because they have their own world, their own identity. So imagine when you're going to create your own fashion show on metaverse, and that's going to be like yours, and your universe will be really strong and new. I think there you will become a hit.
And regarding Fashion Week, do you think we need to change the people who are waiting for the fashion people are waiting for the show? It's always the same people, always. And you have been the first, like in France, like to show to everyone, like your Balmain Fashion Festival. But do we need to change it, or we need to keep it for you? Because it's such a tough question.
I don't think it's a tough question. Again, it's being yourself. I really believe that my fashion show, for example, I think there are not enough people, because I really want to bring more than 400 people. That sometimes what you say are the same, but those people are really important. But I would love that my fashion shows are more open to the world. So that's why I did the festival in September with 6,000 people, and in September will be more than 10,000 or 20,000, I don't know. So I think the strength of Fashion Week is to open the doors that have been closed for so long. But again, I think this is me. Some designers would love to have smaller fashion shows with less people. And I think it's good as well that there are those designers until that they are who they are and not trying to be different. I am like that. Some other are like that. Maybe here in the room, you believe in small fashion shows. And maybe here in the room, you believe in big fashion shows. My work here is to not tell you what to do, but actually tell you, if this is what you believe in, make it happen.
And you are going to do a special project with Jean-Paul Gaultier, the house. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yes. I think this is definitely as well when we talk about future. I think this is one of the future. I think you know that many brands are doing different collaboration. Like, some brands did incredible collaboration. And I think what happened with Jean-Paul Gaultier is a bit different. It's because you get into his archives and trying to redefine them into the world of today with my DNA, with my vision. So it's really interesting, because I have seen so many incredible items that inspired me from day one. Items when I was watching fashion that, I was not even part of, that I was dreaming of, So my work with Jean-Paul Gaultier now, it's to recreate his world with my vision of today. And it's really exciting, because I feel like you now and at my place is Jean-Paul. So it's just going back to just being younger and just with different dreams. And I cannot wait for you to see my show in July, because it's a lot of pressure, but a lot of excitement.
Can't wait. And can you give us any clues, or it has to be super secret? He was not expecting this question.
No. You know what I loved about my work is that I checked as well, of course, all the Jean-Paul Gaultier's work before, went through the archives, but I checked as well what did Sakai, what did Glenn Martin's, which were stunning works. But what I think is interesting is that every designer's arrived there with their own obsession with an era of Jean-Paul Gaultier, which this is exciting because maybe Sakai was excited by something that I'm not going to be excited by, and I'm going to do something that she was like, So I think this is the beauty of it, is that everybody's taking a different moment of Jean-Paul, or different architecture and different clothes, different color card. So what can I say is that I obviously don't try to do what the two designers did before. This is already one thing. And of course, stick to who I am. So you will see that there is a lot of similitude between my work at Barman and what I'm going to do at Gaultier, because this is staying to my own DNA and my own vision. So wait and see how come the Balmain army can become a Jean-Paul Gaultier nation.
I think we can go for the question, but do you want to say something before?
I'm waiting for your questions. Please be nice, it's Monday morning.
Okay, so let's start. I see a question here.
Yeah, we're going to give you the micro. Please introduce yourself, where you're from and which program. I think it would be interesting too. Okay.
Hello, my name is Armand. I'm from Paris and I'm in fashion design third year. I have a question that I need your point of view. That do you need fashion needs to have genders in terms of menswear and womenswear?
Again, I think it depends on the companies and depends on the strength and the vision of the designers. As you know, I mean, as you can see my clothes, I think you can really understand that sometimes I'm wearing my women's wear, sometimes I'm wearing my menswear. I mean, it's really depends on the companies. I don't think we should just push one direction. We should really stick to to the DNA of the house. Of course, I believe more in your question in a man can wear a woman and a woman can wear men. And at one point, I think we should stop with men and women. I think this is my vision, and just having a genderless line. This is what is my point of view. Above all, with the world, with even the past, and not because we're always talking about the future, but fashion always love to say, oh, on the girl, let's put this oversized men's jacket. You know, this is a cool thing that a stylist will tell you 10 years ago. 10 years after, they will say, oh, let's put this women's wear jacket on the menswear, on the man, you know. I think it's just depending of you, but I really believe more in no gender in the future than defining two different lines. This is my vision again.
Yes, thank you. Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm from the US. I'm in third year fashion design. And I think I can speak for most of us in design that we all want to be you one day, or someone like you. And I was wondering if you could answer how you see how your position has changed since you've started as creative director, and where you see it going in the future.
This future is happening. So, thank you for the compliment, obviously. Again, you won't be me, you won't be you, you will be you. What means being me? Being me means, it's true, having a success really young, seeing things that happening today that maybe I did like a couple of years ago with different brands, you know, like I see repetitions. And this is the beauty of fashion, when you do something and you see others doing maybe after. This is incredibly beautiful. And at the same time, this is again when you feel like, okay, what's going to be the next page? I'm telling you, there is one thing that I would love to tell you one day when I'm going to work here with you a couple of hours, is to tell you what means being me. What means being successful and famous maybe at 24 or 25. Because you don't see the, what we call le revers de la médaille. And there is a revers de la médaille. Don't ever believe that what you see on social media or in the magazine is 100% the reality of the person, you know. So I think when you decide to do the choice to being me, as you say, or want to be as much as I can be right now, you need to understand all the compromises that you will have to do. You will lose some friends. You will get a lot of new friends. You might lose the real one to get a lot of fake ones. Because this is the truth of the success, you know. You might feel a room really full, but a lot of loneliness because you don't know who to trust. So I think there is that side as well that you need to realize when you get the hype of being a designer. There is a lot of noises and a lot of silence. And again, to go back to your question about health, this is where you need to find the right balance, having really few friends, having a great studio, having a great team that makes you feel good with yourself. And I will teach you how to be me in a couple of months, days, years, you know.
Hi, my name is Jawlan. I came from Israel, also Syria. First of all, I really appreciate how successful you are as an individual in fashion, and your conversation were very inspiring. My question is, in a time when we celebrate all body shapes and sizes, we celebrate women's rights and other liberal movements, we also, and in the other hand, witness some constant obvious tendency of sexualizing individuals in the fashion industry. More tendency to use makeup, more plastic surgeries, for example, and more all of these things that might embrace liberalism in the American definition. You see, all these things that we might think it's liberalism, it's actually, in my humble opinion, it's nothing but another hidden shape of capitalism, of a male chauvinist, patriarchal, hierarchical class system of oppression, and not a system of liberating individuals in general, but a system that, you know, puts us under a certain, certain social pressure of looking in a certain way to fit in. So. You don't think that creative directors and other pioneers in the fashion industries are responsible for how contradicting fashion has become nowadays in this context, and why? Thank you.
Yeah, I think your question is really important, and I think there is one word that is really right in what you say, is what about contradiction. And fashion has always been a contradiction, and that's why we are fighting for, and that's why I'm here today. And if you look at Vogue with Eugenie right now, you understand that she's moving on from the contradiction and making sure that you will embrace every beauties. In all the beauties that you mentioned, there are beauties that are, I would say, completely natural, as you mentioned. There are surgery, until the surgery makes you feel good with yourself, you know. So I think this is the beauty of fashion, why you should go for one direction. Just the problem is when you went for one direction. You can go for all the direction to show different beauties, showing people that feels good with themselves. And I will never be here to judge anybody from what they have done on their body, what they won't do. The most important is that they feel good with themselves. And I think that's what we're embracing right now. Different beauties. We are living in a world where there are so many beauties. You can look at my shows, you can look at my campaigns, different shapes, different ages. Some girls did surgery, some girls didn't do surgery. And I'm embracing who feels confident with themselves because they feel beautiful.
Hi, my name is Candela. I'm from Spain, and I study the Fashion Design Women's Wear Masters. So, first of all, you're talking about waking up with a smile. You just solved a relationship over here. And second, my question is, as a future fashion designer and talking with my colleagues and everything, obviously everyone passes through a moment where they are blocked creatively. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever had that moment and how you get over it?
Again, and I think when you block creatively, it's when there's something wrong with your personal life, not with your work. When you go through something really tough in your life, so you need to manage your private or personal life, because I think for me, I never had a really white page empty until when sometimes I have to struggle with different family problems, or this is my vision, this is my reality. So I need to figure out how to resolve those problems to feel better with my pen and start sketching. Usually when you're not missing creativity, you don't have a lack of creativity, because your brain and the world is so full of incredible inspiration. So it's impossible that you're not creative tomorrow. What is possible is that you don't find the strength to create because there's something that is an obstacle in your life. So resolve this obstacle and you will see that you can sketch forever.
Hello, my name is Eloise. I'm from France. It's not really exotic.
Beautiful as a name.
Yeah, right. They make beautiful people too. And yesterday I was watching the video by Vlog where Lena is actually asking you questions in your studio. And at some point you said that you make 6 to 7 collections a year, right? Yeah. And I was wondering, would you say that in the context, the actual context where sustainability is like super important, would you say that it's still relevant to make that many collections? Because, you know, it's kind of, like, obviously it's just me thinking that, but I was wondering, isn't it encouraging like a trend? You know, isn't it encouraging constant renewal? So yeah, that's my question.
No, it's a great question, and I think the question of sustainability is one of the main questions that we should have around our world today, not only in this room. To be completely honest with you, I think if you do so many collections, it's because there is a request from customers from around the world. I do a lot of collection as well, depending on a lot of the countries, because they request different collections. At the same time, more your business is growing, more you can have an action on sustainability. I think it's a big topic, sustainability, and it's not an easy topic. I mean, I want to challenge whoever is going to sit here and tell you, oh, it's so easy to create just sustainable clothes. It's not true. It's not true, because 90% of the industry, the supply chain, don't know how to create sustainable clothes. And what you're going to do with them? You're going to all fire them? No, you need to teach them to the supply chain how to create sustainable clothes. Which means, I'll give you an example, denim, which is one of the most polluting garments of a collection plan. And denim is selling really well in many companies, right? A lot of supply chain don't know how to create denim sustainable. So what is my goal now is to keep my supply chain and create new jobs internally of the supply chain of denim to make them learn how to create a sustainable denim. Which means not firing a supply chain that don't know how to create sustainable denim, but making sure that them that I have worked with for the 6-7 years know how to become a sustainable world. This is the real main focus for me. Not giving up on the people, but actually hiring more people. To hire more people, you need to create a bigger business, right? Making less collection, pleasing less my retailers means making less money. So you know what I mean? I think it's a bit more complex than just coming and just say, yeah, you do 6 or 7 collection and it's encouraging, you know. No, actually, no. It's actually building a world where at one point I can impose a way of supply chain, a way of creating clothes. And more my business grows, more I can create sustainable clothes. And this is the reality. I'm hiring more and more people in my own company to teach me as well how to create sustainable clothes, because it's not just me coming and say, I want this jacket sustainable. Maybe today my jacket has no buttons, but tomorrow I can have a cotton jacket, black with 6 gold buttons. But I want to make sure that the metal that I'm using is sustainable. For that, I need help. For having this help, I need to hiring people. To hire people, I need to make a bigger business.
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Aidora. I'm 24 and I'm doing fashion promotion. I'm originally from Cameroon, and obviously as an African, I have a question for you. So have you ever been curious on maybe working with African fashion designers or in Africa? Because you mentioned different countries like New York, Paris, and for fashion weeks. But have you ever thought of maybe working in Africa?
No, when I mentioned the cities, I was mentioning the fact that I think it's sad that we just mentioned those 4 cities, right? Yeah, this is a project that I have at Barma for many years, and as well, I would say that when I discovered my origin even more, because I'm half Ethiopian, half Somalian, so of course this is a project that we had with the company, and I cannot tell you more right now, but in a couple of months you will see different changes, let's say, that will come out, I think, in November. But you're completely right with your question, and this is something that and actually I'm here for it anyway, so you will see the changes, yeah.
Hi, hello, I'm Fan from the Fashion Creative and Styling, and I'm very happy to see Eugene here. And I have one question for you, because I know you are head of the content of Vogue right now. What would you look for the characteristic of student in Marangoni if they want to work for Vogue?
This is your turn.
I have one
Ouais, mon micro marche pas en fait. C'est pour ça que j'ai pas parlé. Ah si, là je parle. Hello, I'm happy you have a question for me. It's all about Olivier all the time.
I'm gonna have some questions for Eugenie anyway.
Really, you know, I don't know, because I think it's a connection, and when I meet people, I think we need to have something, you know, and it's really important. So first of all, I think it's the connection that we're gonna have, and then I think the most important thing is, like, I can see if you are an hard worker, because I am a hard worker, and I think now to success in this industry, you need to work. And there's no key. You need to be an hard worker. By the past, it was okay. You can just know someone, and this is why now I don't want to have connection with anyone. I don't know. You are the son of the woman. You work in, you know, in the tapisserie class. Or I don't care. I don't want. You know, I want it to be like real, and this is something is the most important for me. So you have to be an hard worker. You have to believe in who you are, as you said, and we need to have a connection together. We need to flirt in a way, you know.
Hello, my name is Catarina. I'm from Portugal, and I'm a student of the Masters in Fashion and Luxury Brand Management. And I just wanted to ask you, who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
I mean, okay, I would say one man that made me love fashion without knowing him, one man that loved me more fashion when I met him would be Karl Lagerfeld. I just want to answer why, right? Because I think he was a man that knew how to bring the most luxurious company in the world with a lot of irony, a lot of smart, cleverness, having the great égérie, still remind what is la French Parisienne, but still being more global. Having a sense of humor, being so charismatic, and making you understand that hype is not cool. Timeless is cool. And this is a thing that I would love to work with you, since that I'm your mentor. It's being hype is something that cannot happen too many times. This is the point of being hype, right? The point of being hype is that you're hype once, and after someone else is hype. This is the point. The part of being cool, it's something that It's not happening twice, 3 times, because why it's being cool? Because it's just newness. So the really big challenge in life and in fashion industry is how to create timeless. What people will remember from you 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and making sure that your product in 50 years will still be relevant. That's why I love Carl.
Hello, hi. My name is Eliza, and I'm from Pakistan, and I'm studying the luxury brand management. It's very beautiful what you said in the beginning about diversity, and I feel that you talked about racism, and I feel that I come from Pakistan, and I don't see anybody here from my country, so I feel, I can relate to it in some way, shape, and form. So is there some advice that you would give someone who's coming from a diverse culture, how to make it in the fashion industry? Some, maybe like some instance you could share that would make it more easier for someone coming from a diverse background? Yeah, thank you.
Again, it's being yourself, because I think industry really tries so hard when you are in Paris, for example, to be la Parisienne, right? And we spoke a lot about it, and we had like a long conversation with Eugénie. What means la Parisienne, you know? Because la Parisienne of 10 years ago is not la Parisienne of today. And even 10 years ago, maybe this Parisienne didn't really exist in a way. Or maybe in one arrondissement. Voilà, exactly what she said. La Parisienne is all of you now, you know? So I think the beauty of coming from a different culture than Paris, for example, is to bring the culture. And that will be the strength of an incredible collection. And I agree with you, there are not enough diversity in this world. And that's why let's bring this diversity and let's explore the culture that fashion didn't allow at the time, and making sure that this, whatever culture it is stronger than ever in the industry and that people dreams of.
Thank you so much for this very inspiring talk. We are very pleased. You made our day, our week. Thank you so much for this morning. Thank you.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
There were a lot of questions. I'm not going to ask a question to Eugénie, but I want to talk about Eugénie. Because it's just, she's right, like we're talking a lot about me. No, it was not a joke, my dear. I just wanted to tell you why I'm with Eugénie today. You know, she's our Vogue. And what means Vogue? I think all your questions were to me and to her at the same time. Because the reality of the fashion industry is that even the magazines, you know, push for a kind of one direction, one vision, one world. And what I'm really grateful for today and being with Eugénie, because she's the one that is pushing to make sure that magazines as well are changing. You know, when you're a kid, when you're like 10 years old or 11 years old and you open magazines, that's going to, in a way, define a vision of being an adult. So it's not only my fashion shows. I think the first access is going to be magazines, is their Instagram. And why I'm really, really happy to be with Eugénie today, and because she's my friend, is because she always believed in changing that vision, or making sure that the Eugénie of 10 years old will know that she can be who she wants to be tomorrow without pretending to be someone else. So as much as my work is important in my fashion and my fashion show, as much as her work is important with the Vogue magazine. So I think today we are celebrating me as a mentor, but as well having Eugénie today, really.
Merci.